Today, a thread popped up on Magic the Gathering Arena's subreddit in which somebody found out that Red Shell spyware is present in MTG Arena. Now, they found this out only because Red Shell is apparently on a bunch of Steam games. It's how they make money outside of Steam trading cards and the like. And Red Shell is tailored specifically so that they can rake in the money with the least amount of effort imposed. Now, this person, inevitably, it was going to make it out there, but this person makes a very, very good point. I'm going to read this post and I'll go into it in a second. I saw a thread on the Steam subreddit about this spyware, links to the Steam subreddit. After reading through the thread, I noticed that it only concerned Steam games, as to be expected in the Steam subreddit, so I decided to poke around in some other games I have. Unfortunately, upon searching for the redshell SDK.dll file, I found a copy in the Arena directory. There are also references to Red Shell initializing on captured game logs. What does this do? It collects user information, ostensibly for developers to have data that they can analyze to improve the game, but the potential for harvesting a lot more than that is there. It's worth noting that this is now illegal under GDPR, and the fact that this has not been disclosed is not a good look. I think I can speak for the community when I say that an official WotC response on this issue would be appreciated, with that response hopefully being an apology for not disclosing the inclusion of Red Shell and outlining plans for its removal. Now, this poster is correct. Under the new European Union law, the GDPR, they are required to inform you of any program that is collecting data on you. This is why last week, or the end of the week before that, we saw Facebook, Google, etc. pop up with new terms of service and whatnot saying, in order to be GDPR compliant, here's what we're collecting on you. Didn't matter if you lived in the United States, Canada, or the EU, you were still informed that this was going on. MTG Arena did not do so in the terms of service. When you put Origin on your computer, when you download Battlefield 4, or when you install Ark Survival Evolved, you're told that different programs are being placed on your computer. For Battlefield, it's Punkbuster. For Ark, it's BattleEye. And the purpose of these is to monitor your computer, to monitor the RAM usage, and to see if third-party applications are being run congruent with the program itself. This is supposed to help minimize cheating and hacking. And for the most part, they do that very well. However, MTG Arena did not inform people that this program was being put on the computer. Let's take a look at what Red Shell is about. Red Shell is a software package used by game developers and publishers to help them measure the effectiveness of their marketing campaigns. It works by tying information from marketing campaigns to in-game play. Okay, so you get this information and you use it in order to make money. Fine. What type of information does Red Shell track? Here's the important thing. Red Shell tracks information about devices. We collect information, including operating system, browser version number, IP address anonymized through one-way hashtag, screen resolution, in-game user ID, and font profiles. So they're collecting information about your computer and you, whether you want to accept that or not. By getting your IP address, they can do a geolocation on you, they can figure out where you're connecting from, and they can tailor ads specifically to you based on location as well. For example, we have a bunch of small restaurants that are opening up now that tourist season has started where I live. I will start seeing things on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot for Wood Seafood and whatnot. It's going to happen whether I like it or not. And this is what they do. They collect information on your computer and you tie it to the in-game ID and then start going like that. I've heard Red Shell is spyware. Is that true? No. In a brilliant move by our marketing department, Red Shell shares the name with a 14-year-old Trojan virus. Certainly Red Shell does not, nor could it, execute any code on your computer outside of the game you are playing. Inside that game, all that is run is a simple postback used for attribution and analytics, containing solely the information described the other parts of our FAQ. Now, it's spyware whether you like it or not. If you're collecting information and you are not told that it's there, that is the very definition of spyware. Other companies, other games might make you aware that it's there, but from what I've seen so far from Steam games and Arena, these companies are not informing you Red Shell is on your computer. It's being put on your computer. It doesn't matter if it's a AAA company such as EA doing it, or it's a small indie company, or it's WotC. If you are not informing the player base that it is being put on their computer, by definition, it's spyware, because it's not told, the players are not told it's there. It's collecting information, whether their location or their browsing habits, it doesn't matter. And then it is going to an off computer server or server farm and then being sold back to WotC and whatnot. That is spyware. Don't try and tell me this. Red Shell may not be responsible for that, but the fact that they haven't gotten on the asses of the developers and whatnot for this is very problematic. It shows a lack of caring because they're making their dollars. Who cares? They are specifically marketed to developers of video games and whatnot. We are the product. So their business consumer relationship might be good. We're the product though. They don't have to tell us. And there's a valid point to be made there. There's a valid point. WotC and everybody should be telling us about this, but Red Shell should be doing it as well. Can I opt out? Each game that employs Red Shell may offer an opt-out for any type of data analytics services they use. To opt out of Red Shell specifically, please use our opt-out form. So, the game company can or doesn't have to offer you an opt-out. They don't have to tell you what's being put on there. They don't have to offer an opt-out. Now, Red Shell, to their credit, does allow you to opt out of the program itself. And in theory, you would be opting out and they would not be collecting any information. But in order to do that, they have to collect your information. So how does that work? Legitimately, how does that work? There's no way that you can tell me that that just makes no sense to me. I don't think it makes sense to a lot of people. Now, a WotC employee did talk about this. WotC Charlie posts, Red Shell is an ad attribution platform. We'll be using it to see which ads are working and which aren't. It is not spyware, my dudes. Going back to what I said, Arena fails to let you know it's being put on your computer. It runs in the background. It collects information on your computer, your browsing habits, your web browser, your Facebook profile, something that Charlie says in this post. By the very basic definition alone, it's spyware. Now, you could narrowly tailor it, I'm sure, in order to say, oh, it's not spyware. But the very basic definition says, yeah, that's spyware, kids. Here's how it works. If you click on an ad, which we set up to redirect through Red Shell gives you an ID based on your system that is unique. When you run the game, we fire off a call to Red Shell. They generate an ID the same way and see if it matches any of the IDs that they have clicked on one of our ads. If it does, we see a conversion marked for that ad. They aren't collecting any additional data. Yes, they are. They even say it on their website what they collect, and I'm sure they're not telling us all of it. They hash the data so it's stored anonymously, and they don't sell it to anyone besides us. Once again, Cambridge Analytica, other sites have said the exact same thing. We sell to very specific people, and then it comes out that it's going to people outside of those specific people. You'll pardon me if I'm a little skeptical, people. Red Shell only knows about the ID they make and your account ID that we make, so we can connect our other analytics back to ads as well. Well, that's not true. Red Shell, once again, collects data on your Facebook and Twitter profiles. It collects data on your IP address. I mean, the IP address alone should give you a little... There should be some red flags going off right there, ladies and gents. People who discovered the game through Facebook tend to struggle to get through this part of the tutorial. We should look into why that's happening, etc., etc. That's an example that Charlie provides. I understand the concern here. I hope this clarifies exactly what it does and is used for, except that your explanation, Charlie, runs counter to what is stated on their website. I literally just read it for you guys. Also, Red Shell is run by Innervate, a small company that is local to Seattle. We know the folks who work there. They built our forums and help us run those too. They're legit. That doesn't matter. Once again, you didn't tell the players that this is being put on their computer. It is working in the background, and it is collecting information that nobody gave you permission to collect. Let me say that again for the hearing impaired and mentally retarded working at WotC on this. You didn't tell people that it was being put on their computer. You have it run in the background, and it's collecting data that no person has allowed you to say, yes, you're allowed to collect that. And the opt-out comes after it started collecting the data. That's not how it works. The opt-out should be right when you install the game. Hey, we're going to put this computer on here. Here's what our intentions are. You can opt out here, and you opt out immediately. But WotC doesn't do that. And why isn't WotC doing that? They had something like a 23% income drop in the last quarter. Their card stock has become a laughing stock. It is an absolute, it's in shambles. Their physical product is in shambles at this point. Local gaming stores are being hurt by WotC's attempts to make more money at the expense of quality. Why isn't WotC doing a little bit of thinking? Why? They had months, if not years, to prepare for the GDPR. Why didn't they get ready for this? They didn't. As far as I know, their main website doesn't even let you know that the GDPR takes effect on it. They didn't update the terms of service or the EULA. I'm thinking there might be a problem here, WotC. And it's a problem you need to fix right now. But they probably won't. Charlie's own post here pretty much tells us WotC doesn't take this seriously. It's a secondary concern for them, if that. At the end of the day, you're the product. And they want more money from you. So get ready to give it to them hand over fist, because MTG Arena is going to be pay to win.